Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler V series V's I'm due for a little while. I'll go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that, time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. This also happens to be my dinner, so hopefully it's good. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm in my back room today, which means you get Peter Can Thunderbolt poster. Ooh. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm doing something else. What is it? I'm wearing a super cool shirt. And folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, folks? Well, it happens to be my boom. It says Rebel, but it's actually my Ayatoya shirt. Which, if you're unfamiliar with the excellent musical artist known as Ayatoya, she's actually based out of Chicago. I was completely unaware of her somehow, despite the fact that I like to think that I have a reasonable pulse on the, the local music scene and stuff. But yeah, she went over there. She was performing as one of the openers on the tour with Cold and Orgy that I went to go see a little while back. And I was really blown away. Like, I thought her set was really awesome. Thought her music was really cool. Very sort of electro, kind of like almost industrial 80s style. Loved the way that she just put on her performance. I have said it before. Like, I have a huge amount of respect for any artist that can go up there by themselves and make all that happen. Like, it's one thing when you're with, obviously an entire band, you can kind of feed off each other, but when you're the only person, that's really, really impressive. I really liked her set, though, so much so I actually got, obviously, some merch. I got a picture taken with her and everything. I also went over there, got some video of her performance. In case you're interested, those videos are on this channel as well. If nothing else, I'd be happy to point you in her direction, because I think she's really cool. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Why is it my dinner? I bought this maybe like 3 weeks ago, something like that. I've been meaning to go over there and get it in and do a review for it. It was just finding that perfect opportunity where, like, I was hungry, but, like, also in the mood to do a review. And it just kind of happened for me, folks. Today was just the day. It happens to be, boom! It is a thin and crispy crust Philly cheesesteak pizza from Great Value, which, if you're unfamiliar, Great Value is the Walmart in-store brand. So, topped with creamy cheese sauce with mozzarella and provolone cheese, sliced beef, green peppers, and caramelized onion made with real cheese. Hopefully this is good. And then, of course, we actually have the pizza itself, which I shall now show you. And it looks like that, which, I mean, yeah, okay, And I have reviewed some Great Value pizza before. I did a comparison against some Jack's Pizza, so go watch that video if you're interested. First of all, let's try to get a thing for the thing, and hopefully not have this whole thing end up on the ground, because that would be a problem. Oh, God. Let's see, can we get... Looks like that. Ha ha ha! Ha 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 ha! Yeah, sure, why the fuck not? So, yeah, and I will say, too, like, as soon as I took this out of the freezer, like, opened up the box and everything, you could kind of smell a Philly cheesesteak smell, so that has me hopeful. Let's go for the one that's got the best overall coverage. And, I just popped it in for, said 10 to 12, so I gave it 11. Let's give it a go. You can definitely taste the cheese sauce. I would say that's the most prominent flavor. And it's nice. It's very creamy. It has kind of the mozzarella kind of flavor to it. Yeah, cheese sauce is good. I like that. Really, really cheesy with that cheese sauce. Almost to the extent of being like a white pizza. Almost like an Alfredo sauce. The cheesesteak itself is lacking. I mean, it's obviously a frozen pizza, so you're going to lose a little something there. But I have to admit, I was hoping for a little bit more. I don't feel like the cheesesteak is terribly well seasoned, so you're just kind of getting a little bit. I will give credit to the crust. It is thin, and it is very nice and crispy. And that can be kind of problematic for me with my oven. My oven is very finicky when it comes to if I'm trying to make like pizzas in it and stuff, like where the proper place is to get that crust. The instructions say to put it, dead in the middle, but I know from experience I have to put it lower to the ground. If I put it in the middle, the bottom won't get cooked properly. The crust is good. Really easy to eat. The veg for what it is, I mean, I'm not typically the biggest onion guy, but I actually kind of, caramelized onions are good. I'll kind of give it to it. When you go over there, when you get a little bit of everything, when you get the cheesesteak, when you get the onions, when you get the peppers, and then you've got that creamy, again, almost Alfredo kind of sauce, it does have something of a Philly cheesesteak kind of flavor. It's obviously not going to be anything close to a 1-to-1. For one thing, the proportions are all off, and in a proper cheesesteak, obviously the cheesesteak is at the forefront. In this case, the cheese is really at the forefront. It's definitely the most prominent flavor, but for being a limited recreation, on a budget pizza that I made in my oven, yeah, okay. Honestly, I'm going to kind of give it to it. I think it's sort of punching above its weight a little bit, I didn't expect it to be bad or anything, but I figured it would kind of fall along the lines of most great value stuff where, it would be passable, But honestly, I'm going to say it borders on being actually kind of good. It's not great, but again, I think it's honestly out of the great value pizzas I've had, it's probably the best I've had. You know what? I mean, I'm going to give them, look, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I'm going to go with probably and kind of. For me personally, I have to give them all the credit in the world because it's not a particularly fantastic frozen pizza. There are certainly better ones that you can get, like DiGiorno, and, especially living in, Spiders are fine. Especially, living in Illinois, we have lots of, local ones that do kind of, Chicago specialty style pizzas and stuff, which are really cool. But, again, it is a budget pizza, and within that context, I do think that this one is actually pretty good, and if nothing else, it did everything it said it was going to do on the box. Was the crust thin and crispy? Yes, and it actually cooked through nicely. Did it kind of taste like a Philly cheesesteak? Kinda, yeah. Again, not anything close to the real deal, but No, I mean, like I said, I really do have to kind of give it to it. And while it wouldn't be a go-to pizza for me by any means, I could see picking it up every now and again. Sure. I can give it to it. I really will. I do think, you could obviously, if my biggest critique would be obviously just, the quality of the ingredients and stuff. Like I said, I don't think the cheesesteak aspect was as prominent as I would have liked, but, And if I'm recommending it, kinda. I would imagine that if you're watching this review, and you are of the mindset of maybe checking this out, you kind of already know what you're going in for. Is it going to go over there and taste exactly like a delicious, proper Philly cheesesteak? Of course not. Is it definitely still a budget pizza to some extent? Yes. But is it a better than it should be budget pizza from Walmart that kind of tastes like a Philly cheesesteak? And the answer is yes. That sounds like it's damning with faint praise, but again, it's just a simple frozen pizza you gotta kind of, you know. So it's one of those things where it's like, if you want like a really proper, I mean, first of all, just get actual pizza. But if you want like a proper frozen pizza, there's way better ones out there. But if you go into this kind of knowing and expecting what it is, I think that you might actually be a little bit surprised, and it might be worth your time. But 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there, episodes of truly proper Philly cheesesteak-tastic rest of your life. I say that, mind you, never having been to Philly, never having, you know, the proper glory. But one day perhaps. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you can't do all the time, I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important that we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, you know what? This is one of those instances where I'm genuinely interested. If you try this one out, let me know. What is your personal take on it? Because, you know, maybe I'm just so jaded as a result of, you know, I have eaten more frozen pizzas in my day than any person ought to. You know, and a lot of times I do go in just for, you know, the cheaper stuff, just to, you know, just get some food in me. Maybe like I said, maybe I'm jaded, maybe I'm just looking at this a bit too favorably. So if you do end up trying this one, like, please let me know. You know, did it work for you? Did you think it was terrible? You know, where would you rank it on your frozen pizza scale? I think for me personally, I'd put it, you know, somewhere around a C+ or something like that. You know, decent, but not amazing. But anyway, bye.